This is the South Pacific Adventist News. Thanks for joining me. I'm David Gibbons. An Adventist who rescued John F. Kennedy from Japanese capture in 1943 was honoured by the US Navy last week. The Navy had thought that Aroni Kumana from the Solomon Islands was dead. Kumana rowed Kennedy 50 kilometres through enemy waters to find a rescue boat after Kennedy's boat had been sunk by a Japanese destroyer. Kumana, who is now 85, was presented with gifts including an American flag. He recalled that John Kennedy promised to come back to Solomon Islands after the war. Kennedy was assassinated in 1963. In a visit to Australia, the first woman vice president of the Worldwide Adventist Church says that the church is making changes for the better. But Dr. Simmons wants bigger changes in the role of women in the church. Dr. Simmons said that while women have held positions of leadership in the past, there now exists a need for women to be leading local congregations as well.
I think that the church really is ready for women at all levels and in all roles to fully accept God's call on their lives and to function in those roles officially sanctioned by the church.
Year 10 students in Sydney's largest Adventist school have collected 68 baskets of groceries to help needy families.
I didn't think in commerce that we'd be able to help people, but we're helping the people in our school community as well as the local community and making a difference in what we do.
Commerce teacher Zenon Els encouraged his Mountain View Adventist College class to organise a community service project as part of their class assessments.
The kids have worked well as a team together, and one class by themselves of 15 students have brought in 12 baskets.
Many families live on the poverty line in the neighbouring western suburbs of Sydney. Hundreds of Adventist youth were treated to a concert fun night last weekend in Sydney because they had raised tens of thousands of dollars to support the annual ADRA appeal. Many of the youth had never supported the Adventist Church's aid agency before. In fact, some of the youth were Muslims. Youth were encouraged to think of other ways to raise funds for ADRA instead of having to go door to door. The concert focused on world poverty, health and education issues, but the musical acts were most popular. Leaders said that the Sydney churches had found a solution to getting youth involved in the annual appeal and expected the idea to be picked up around Australia and New Zealand. 4 students were baptised at the Avondale Adventist School's new multi-purpose centre last week. The high school students chose not to have a guest speaker. Instead, they took the week of worship meetings themselves. As a result of the WOW meetings and the baptism, 34 additional students want to be baptised as well.
This week's program, Week of Worship, has been the first altogether, and it's just been really exciting, just having our entire school body under one roof.
The new auditorium was opened in June at a cost of $5 million. It is the best equipped facility of any school in the district and will be used by students and local community members. A successful Canadian businessman travelled to Avondale College last week to challenge lecturers and students to change their priorities. The Adventist Tertiary Institution at the Lake Macquarie campus in New South Wales changed their program for the week so that Herb Larson could speak. Even though he trained as a biochemist and owns an engineering firm, Larson prefers to meet and speak to community leaders about Jesus Christ. Following the talks, 20 students requested Bible studies and 60 agreed to spend at least an hour every day with Jesus. And finally, in this week's full colour record is a story which features Academy Award winner Russell Crowe. The story reveals that Crowe starred in a video promotion for the ministry course at Avondale. The video clip is on YouTube. The article also shows how other Adventist messages are being shared through YouTube. Thanks for joining me again this week on Adventist News. I'm David Gibbons.